Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Bill Levinson, managing partner with Levinson and Associates. With us today, we have Andrew Paris, our brokerage manager. We also have a very special guest speaker to the Levinson family. Emmanuel is joining us, one of our top agents in the U.S., and he's nice enough to take time out of his busy afternoon to share some great information, and we're going to do a quick 10-minute interview. And basically, I just want to pick his brain a little bit. I have some questions that a bunch of our agents sent in, so I'm going to do my best to get those questions asked, and hopefully we'll have some great answers for all of you that are listening today. We also have our VP from Banner Life, Legal and General, Jim Grawl, is joining us, and they have a really cool platform, which is exactly in line with our topic of today's presentation. And it has to do with you all selling online, selling over the phone, and having a quick drop ticket e-application experience. In this case, it is freaking unbelievable. And the reason why I'm saying that, and I'm not trying to toot Jim's horn or Banner's horn, the reason why I'm saying this is this platform will go up to $2 million non-med. So as long as the client qualifies, there's an instant decision. It doesn't get any easier than this. I mean, the only way it gets easier than this is if it's 100% direct to consumer, which is on Insure Me Now Direct, but that's to $500,000. This is to $2 million. So this is a close second place for traditional insurance policies up to $2 million. Again, instant decision if your client qualifies. So really cool stuff from Banner. This is only available to a few select IMOs, and we are one of them. So great stuff. And I believe this is launching on the 23rd. So everybody gets a sneak peek. What we're also going to do, as usual, we're going to ask a question of the day. So please make sure you're paying attention to our slides, write down notes, and something I'm going to go over, I'm going to mention on today's webinar. I'm going to actually ask that question at the end. Whoever answers first and correctly wins the new 8-inch Amazon Fire tablet. So you can start writing some of these e-apps as early as tomorrow afternoon when I ship this out. So this will be great, a lot of fun for everyone, and most important, my goal is that everyone walks away with some nuggets of information that will help change your practice, especially during a time like this that we're all going through, okay, unfortunately. But we're going to make the best of it, and I'm also going to pick Emmanuel's brain because they are crushing it, and that's exactly why I handpicked him to join us, because I want you all to hear what's working and what's not for Emmanuel and his team. So great stuff to come. All right, let's jump right in here. What I want to do first is we have lots of changes, lots of updates going on in the industry and here at Levinson. I mean, literally by the day, we're getting different underwriting, let's say, enhancements, changes, updates. We're getting max issue ages are being reduced or increased depending on the carrier and products. So you have to know what's going on, and it's our job to keep our finger on the pulse and then, of course, share with our agents. So all you have to do is very simply go to our website. You will see a COVID, as soon as you log in on your dashboard, you'll see a COVID-19 folder. Everything is updated in real time. Every carrier, okay, everything is very black and white. We wanted this simple. We wanted this updated in real time. So if you're about to jump on the phone or write an app, you can literally log in, check that carrier, and then boom, you're off to the races. Okay, let's back up for 1 second here. Also, what we do here once a month, okay, COVID-19 or no COVID-19, we have our Levinson monthly 411 update video. So basically, I grab part of our marketing team and we sit in the conference room and we talk about all of the new changes, updates for that particular month on the life and annuity side, and of course, long-term care and DI and everything else. And we wrap it up and try to be less than 10 minutes to make it very easy for all of our agents. So anyway, we just launched the April 411 edition, which is out right now. It's also on our website on the pop-up. And then we're going to send a thank you email to everyone on today's call and we'll include the monthly 411 video. We'll include all of the new Legal and General Banner Life updates on the platform, and also you have to be appointed under us to get access to that platform. So you have to be pre-appointed. This new up to $2 million instant decision, you have to be pre-appointed. So make sure you get your contracting in. If you're already set up under us, even better, but we're going to include the legal and general contracting in today's thank you email to make sure you are pre-appointed and have an agent number ready to go. Okay, the rest of the updates are below. We wanted to just touch on some highlights, and then of course the COVID-19 folder, which I just mentioned. And what I also want to mention, and I think this is very important. Let's move forward, Andrew. It's important for everyone to understand that during these times, okay, it's crucial that you have a few of your select carrier go-tos, okay, and you understand how the e-application works, if and when there's a phone interview, e-signatures, okay, we even have voice sign now that, again, is only available through Levinson, and you just have to know the basics. So when you're getting on the phone with your prospects or your leads, whatever the case is, you know what you're talking about. And of course, especially if it's a younger, healthier client, take the path of least resistance and make sure you have your go-to carrier, you know the underwriting requirements, you're ready with your e-app, you have their email, and you're ready to run. You'll be off to the races. But now more than ever, you have to understand the basics with technology and these certain carrier underwriting requirements. So anyway, everything is at your fingertips right here. And what we did is put together a chart that is going to make your life 10 times easier, okay? So there's no more fumbling through websites or old manila folders. Everything is right here in front of you. This is our non-med chart that's on our website. We'll also include this in today's thank you email. By the way, speaking of the thank you email, if you don't get this by the end of today, close of business today, please reach out to us. That means we have your wrong email address, or it's going to your junk folder. So if you don't get this today, let us know, and we have to correct your email address. Okay, so on the left side is that new non-med chart, again, updated in real time. So as the carriers are making adjustments, we are updating our non-med chart, okay? It's that simple. This is the term chart, and you can see it's separated by carrier, max face amount, issue ages, do they have an e-app drop ticket, IGO e-app, it's all right in front of you. We have the same exact thing for final expense. In fact, we just launched 3 different voice signature carriers on the final expense side. We even have one on the term side that is voice signature. So it doesn't get any more advanced than that, okay, especially during COVID-19. So these are all great tools and resources for you to have, especially when you're working the phones consistently, which I hope you all are, because let's face it, most of your clients and prospects are home right now, just like you and most of the other agents that are on this call. So anyway, it's a great time to reach out. You're going to hear exactly why in just another minute here when I introduce Emmanuel. So what I want to do is back up for a second, and I want to introduce a personal friend of mine, one of our top Levinson agents. Emmanuel is joining us, and here's what's so neat, and this is why I wanted to have him featured on today's presentation. First of all, I get so many requests through email and phone calls and comments and messages on social media, and they're like, hey, Bill, I really want to talk to the agent that you had on 2 weeks ago, or one of your top MDRT kind of agents. Can I pick his brain for a little bit? Now, usually that's not realistic. Okay, most agents don't have the time to spend, an hour or two on the phone while you pick their brain. Okay, unless you're obviously one of their agents that works in their or part of their agency, that's a different story. But we have almost 19,000 agents now. So if we release someone's phone number, you can only imagine what would happen to that agent. So what we wanted to do was take a lot of the questions in and then have someone like Emmanuel be featured on our webinar so we can pick his brain, and I can put on my agent hat and say, you know what, if I had Emmanuel on the phone and I was running a successful insurance agency, what would I want to know? So anyway, that's why I wanted to share, and I truly appreciate him taking the time, and he is busier than ever. So that means the world to us, and I hope it means the world to you all. Also, I'm going to add before I even let him speak, and I apologize, but real quick, here's what's so cool about this whole story. So we did a podcast, okay? It's been probably about 6 months now, 5 or 6 months. By the way, you should also listen to because it's amazing. We talk for 1 full hour, just me and Emmanuel, and we go head to head, and it's all about life insurance selling, how we got started. But here's what's so interesting. On that podcast, this is way before Corona, he said to me, Bill, 99% of my sales are done over the phone or virtual or online. And he said, and that's the way it's going to be, and it's only growing from here. And I was like, wow, that is awesome. I love to hear that, and I encourage all agents to think and sell and be proactive and work like that. So hearing it from him, meant the world to me. So anyway, and then next thing you know, this COVID-19 hits, and I send an email to Emmanuel, and it was probably a few weeks after all the numbers increased throughout the world, as a matter of fact. And I said, hey, are you guys okay? He's like, Bill, we are busier than ever, and not much has changed for us because we're selling exactly the way that we were before COVID-19 hit. So I was like, wow, and I saw this email and I was like, God, I really got to get him on a webinar because some agents were kind of down and out about this, and others are thriving. In this challenging time, they are thriving and moving forward, and he's doing exactly that. So anyway, I thought that was interesting. So with that said, I want to introduce Emmanuel. Thank you so much for taking the time, bud. We appreciate it.
Yeah, sure. Happy to be on here.
Yeah, no, and we love that you're on here. Okay, so with that said, and by the way, it's not like he gets paid for this, or there's nothing in this for him except obviously to help us and help our agents. So that's important. And also, before we dive in, I also want to mention that yes, he does have a successful agency, and him and his partner Brian, and then they have a bunch of agents spread out throughout the country, and of course the right agents. So when you'll hear his story, but I want to mention it, and it has to be obviously the right fit, but if you're interested in working with their team, they're one of our agencies, then that's also on the table. So please just send me an email, and we'll go back and forth. We'll make sure it's a good fit for both sides, and if it is, we will make the introduction, no problem at all. But Emmanuel, if we can, let's dive in here. I just would love to hear your take on, I remember talking on the podcast, like I just mentioned, and how you were telling me, most of your sales are done online and over the phone, and that was pre-COVID-19, and then, a few weeks in, you're saying to me, Bill, you know what? We're doing the same exact thing, but we're even busier. So just what's your take on all of this? I just think the agents would love to hear it.
Yeah. Well, like you said, prior to all this, we were already doing everything 100% over the phone. However, at that time, everything we were doing was fully underwritten. So we were always scheduling our exams for the life, for the disability, for the hybrid life and long-term care policies. We were scheduling all our own exams, and now with everything that's hit, it's forced us to even have to change our business model, to look for carriers that don't require a medical exam, like Banner's offering up to the $2 million, and it's revolutionized even our business model, which was already ahead of the times, where normally we'd schedule the exam, that would get done in a week or two, then we'd complete the applications, and that could take anywhere between a month to 2 or 3 months waiting for medical records to come in. And now we're able to leverage these carriers with their simplified underwriting programs, where I've gotten people 60-year-olds approved for $500,000 of life insurance, and 40 and 50-year-olds approved $1 million, $2 million within 1 day to 5 days, and then getting the policy issued and delivered sometimes within the same week, and I'm getting paid commissions that same week. So normally, what would have normally taken anywhere between a month to 3 or 4 months before I'm actually getting paid is now happening within 1 week. So this whole virus situation has changed our model for forever. We're going to continue on with this even after everything's settled down, because why would I have somebody do a medical exam if I can get them approved without having to go get medical records? I will say, however, for all the agents listening, you have to know the intricacies and the particulars of the carrier's program, because we've all the agents that work with us, they've tried, working with some of these simplified underwriting programs, and they think, oh, no exam, I can put this guy in that just recently had a heart attack a month ago. Well, that's not how it works. They have to actually, be in relatively good health, maybe have gone for a physical in the last couple of years. So there's some different intricacies that the agents need to know. They just can't throw a bunch of cases up against the wall and expect them to make it through. So I think as long as they know the ins and outs, they can, leverage these programs for the better.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, and that's why we put that chart together. But yes, and especially because things are changing almost daily, so you have to know the ins and outs, or else you're going to wind up hitting a dead end. And obviously, we don't want to do that. But yeah, that's a great point, Emmanuel. And I think another good point is, you think about like carriers, and I know Jim Grohl is on with us from Legal in General, and he's one of our top VPs. But I'm going to say, and we all know this, but the life insurance world is so far behind, other industries, or even the health insurance side or the P&C side. We were so late to the game to come out with an e-app and a drop ticket, and it's just crazy. And I think what's happening, right, and I not only do I think, but I know what's happening right before our eyes is a lot of the carriers are forced into now incorporating the latest technology in this non-med underwriting and e-apps and drop tickets. So I think, and just like you said, this is going to change our industry forever, even after COVID-19. I think that we're going to see a lot of advancements on the tech side in the life insurance space. So that's definitely a positive in my book, because we've been pushing for this, obviously, for years and years. So that's a great point.
Sure. Yeah, and I think one of the biggest things for us is that it was difficult for us to give up control of the whole transaction. We were always used to scheduling the exams, delivering the physical policies via mail or UPS, and now we're relying on the carriers to do it all electronically. And so far they've been doing a great job. So it's sped up the process by months for us.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I know, and I'm hearing the same thing around the industry. So that's definitely a plus. I think what else is interesting, we're talking about obviously the positives during COVID-19, which there's so many negatives that we're not going to bring that up. But as far as the life insurance space and sales, it is a great time. And that's another reason why I wanted Emmanuel to share, like, what I personally feel and think is a lot of people are home right now, not by choice, right? And, let's say a family of 4, a family of 5, they're all staring at the breadwinner, if it's the mother or the father, and they're saying, well, mommy, daddy, if God forbid, if you get COVID-19 and you unfortunately, or God forbid, pass on, are we protected? Are we going to be okay? So I think what's happening is the awareness for insurance and life insurance has went through the roof, and I think that's what's making the phone ring, or that's what is making, let's say if it's through social media, messages are coming in, hey, I want quotes, I want this. Do you agree with that, Emmanuel? What's your take on that? What do you see so far?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely seen a heightened interest level, and I think where a lot of agents will, stumble and miss this opportunity is by overcomplicating the situation. If somebody wants life insurance, just give them what they want, make them a client, even if it's just a simple term policy or whatever it is. But, we're finding a lot of people that normally I feel would have maybe said, well, let me think about it. Let me talk to my spouse. I got to talk to my friends or whatever it is. They're taking action right away because we're keeping it simple and just saying, let's apply. No decisions. Let's just get you approved. Let's see what you get qualified for. I think a lot of people, there's, different categories. There's people that have been thinking about life insurance for a while now, and now this is like pushed them to the brink of saying, yeah, I need to get this. And then there's other people that maybe never thought about life insurance, but have heard of friends, family members, colleagues, passing away as a result of this virus. And they're thinking, hey, I probably need to get some coverage. So I think the key in this point in time is to, like we've talked before, is now's not the time to downsize marketing and leads, and now's the time to double down, triple down on the outbound efforts, because it may not result in new sales today, but it'll set all these agents up for having a huge pipeline for when people start returning back to work and have the cash flow that they had before. And they're going to think of XYZ agent that followed up with them 5, 10 times during this process, to do business with them. So,
love it.
Definitely seeing a heightened level of interest from people. And then, we have our staff and assistants every day following up with leads from months, 6 months, even a year ago, and these people are moving forward. So it's those that are going to do the follow-up that are going to get the business.
Yeah, that's huge. Are you seeing more calls come in, more like quote requests, more interest? Like let's say now
we're
versus 3 months ago?
10 times busier. Yeah, 10 times more quote requests and people coming in off the website, running quotes. I mean, normally we would have maybe 1 or 2 requests a week to submit an application, not only running quotes, but to submit an application. Now we're getting anywhere between 2 and 5 of those a day of people saying, yes, I want to apply. And really just saying, okay, yeah, here's my information and let's get the application going. So that's due to consistent marketing that we've been doing for years, and people find us online. So that having that presence and name recognition definitely helps.
Yeah, it's great. I think all of that combined with the awareness right now with COVID-19, I think that it's a combination of all of these things, and he's kicking butt,
Sure.
and that's why I wanted you to share. And again, it also goes back to, we always talk about, like, make sure your website is up and running and your social media pages are up and you're consistently posting. We just post on Insure Me Now Direct a great article, not even an article, it's a quote. And everybody now is sharing it and using it, which is exactly what the purpose was. But you have to market yourself. You have to keep your name top of mind to all of these prospects and clients. This quote, I'll just read it real quick. A man who dies without adequate life insurance should have to come back and see the mess he created. I mean, that's one of those things. Talk about awareness. Someone reads that and boom, they're automatically thinking, oh, do I have or does my spouse have a policy in case something happens? It's that simple. Done. So you need to think like this. And Emmanuel and his team are doing it for years. And then obviously fast forward to today, we have this pandemic amongst all of us, but look at how it's all panned out for him. So yes, it's a challenging time, but they are doing great. And here's what's also interesting. Emmanuel's partner that works with him is on the entire other side of the country. So Emmanuel's working out of Florida and Tennessee. His partner's in Hawaii. And they have been using this technology and Zoom and GoToMeetings and e-apps this entire time. This isn't anything new. So now, this unfortunate situation hits us. They were prepared, they were proactive, and look at where they are today. So there you have it. I mean, it's just awesome. The last thing here before we introduce Jim, Emmanuel, is I want to add, we were having a conversation earlier and we were saying, and I think this is a great point for everybody to just take away a little something from, but Emmanuel and even myself, obviously we're in the marketing space, we're an IMO, and Emmanuel's a general agency, right? So we're talking earlier, and this just goes to show you how our minds are so similar when it comes to being proactive and taking the first step and taking a shot out there. So he says to me, he's like, Bill, a lot of the agents right now are, they're saying, hey, I'm going to take a week or a month vacation, or I'm going to do a little bit of work here and there. It's a tough time. No one's buying anything. He said, you know what? We're going to go in head first. We're going to spend some money in marketing and lead production. And sure enough, he did exactly that. And you hear what he just said the outcome was. Well, we did exactly the same thing. So as an IMO, everybody is pulling the reins back, and we saw some emails saying we're closing for a month, and some said we're taking our summer vacation now. And we said not only are we open and everything is fine just like it was before, okay, but We just put out a national email campaign through Insurance Newsnet magazine to 500,000 agents. So we went head first at a time when everyone's pulling back. And here we are, we're both just talking. We didn't even know this about each other. And we just said, wait a minute, you did this, I did this. It's the same mindset. And you all have to think and operate like that. I think that's a big point. Okay, enough ranting. Emmanuel, do you want to leave with anything else? Do you want to mention anything before we wrap up?
I mean, like I said, we've tripled down on our efforts, on our expenditures, on our marketing. Not that that's going to make us more money today, but we know that we're going to lay the foundation to have a huge pipeline of people to follow up with. And it's the exact same thing happened to me, but on a different scale. Back in, I came into the business in 2009, right after the economic crash, and very bad time to come into the insurance business. But we all put a ton of effort in then, and it laid the foundation. So I think even new agents, experienced agents, everybody needs to double and triple down. It doesn't necessarily have to be a monetary expenditure. It could just be picking up the phone and making calls, making outbound calls. There's plenty of people still working, doctors, attorneys, everybody. Lots of professions are still making money and still need the coverage. So I think just everybody needs to, not take a break. I mean, I've talked to a few agents that said, I took a couple of weeks off. I went on, like you said, vacation. I'm like, vacation? That was not the time to go on vacation.
It's the opposite.
So,
right.
Yeah.
Emmanuel, you know what? I just thought of one more thing. Let's leave everyone with this too. We were talking earlier, and you were saying how you have your assistant, calling your existing clients, just saying, hey, I just want to make sure everything is okay. And by the way, your annuity or your life insurance, your universal life policy, whatever it is,
sure,
we're maintaining, let's say the guaranteed floor of 4%, even though the market is crashing, the S&P is down, but great news, that certain product we got you into is paying you the guaranteed floor of 4%. So you have nothing to worry about. Your premiums not going anywhere, or if its withdrawals aren't going anywhere. So there's different ways to spin these calls where you come out looking like a superhero. And I think that was a good point.
No, I've made a ton of outbound calls to existing clients, and just all with good news. Hey, yeah, the life insurance is still good. The indexed annuity, you didn't lose a penny. You didn't pay any fees. And like I told you earlier, I mean, we're having clients that even though the overall market may be down 15, 20%, they're getting 10 and 14% returns, even in today's environment, taking no risk and paying no fees. And I know this is, not an annuity conversation, but it was a great talking point for me to reach out to clients and say, hey, if there's anything else I can do to help, if there's any other monies that we need to protect, let me know. And of course, I look like a hero. I just made them 14%, taking no risk, paying no fees. Why would they not want to put additional monies into these types of products? So, but yeah, I think outbound effort on all parties is needed at this point.
Yeah, and and this is how you have to think to be successful in this time. I call it getting scrappy, but look how creative he got. That wasn't a huge deal. It probably took him a couple minutes to put a little script together and say, hey, this is what we're going to talk about. And look what can happen from that. Imagine the referrals that he will get from those kinds of calls. So anyway, just start thinking like that. Emmanuel, it's been a pleasure as always. Thank you
anytime.
for taking the time. We appreciate you, bud.
Sure thing.
Okay. Let's jump right in here to our feature presentation with Legal in General. I have Mr. Jim Grawl, our banner VP, joining us with an awesome new tech-forward thinking platform. Jim, you there?
I am. Thanks, Bill.
Thanks.
I don't know that I need to do any more. I'm ready to go out and market now that I've listened to you and Emmanuel talk. I do want to share a quick story. Emmanuel talked about doubling down, and you talked about doubling down. My father-in-law is a 76-year-old gentleman in Central Florida, been a life insurance agent since 1970, it is. He wrote 6 apps earlier this week, and he's never been one to not go out and see people. He's still doing it all over the phone, taking a paper app and mailing it to him. So it doesn't matter who you are, you find a way to do what you need to do in these different times. So I keep telling him he's got to do it easier and do it my way, but I can't get him off the paper yet. So Give me time. Give me time. So let's get into the Legal and General Banner digital online process. Many of you know that for the past 7 years, we've had the App Assist program, and it was one of the first of its kind to come out with the drop ticket. And we do the interview and kind of take the workload off of you to let you as producers go out and do what you do best, which is build relationships and sell life insurance and talk about the need. Well, we've taken it to the next level. Our new digital journey is going to make it easier. This is a process that has been in design for a number of years now. It wasn't scheduled to roll out until late April, early May, and then really get full steam in June and July of this year. But because of the aforementioned COVID disease, we decided that we wanted to push this out now to provide a better way for agents, producers to go out or not go out and sell life insurance and help families protect themselves in this time of need. So bear with me as we walk through this. Some of the things that you're going to hear about are still going to be coming. Some of the things we pushed out quickly to get it to you so that you can stay in the comfort of your office and stay touch-free and distance while you're off talking to your clients about the most important thing they need to buy right now. So in an ever-changing world, we found that, as Bill mentioned, the life insurance industry is probably woefully behind other industries in our technology, and I think we're about ready to make a big step forward with what we're getting ready to do. We're going to make that process of taking a life app easier for both you and your client. I'm going to run through this real quickly, the agenda, and I know we're on a time constraint, so I want to make sure we hit everything. We're going to talk about the new platform, what it means to you, and I'm going to show you a walkthrough on the new application process that your clients are going to see. So we're looking for a better user experience. We're looking for instant decision. We're looking for automated application management. All of these things are coming. Not all of them are here. The first two are definitely going to be here. So the user experience, it's a digital journey. You're going to get real-time status updates from the client's perspective. We're going to reduce your cycle time, and we're going to make sure that applications are coming in good order so that we're not doing a lot of back and forth. In the near future, we're going to have easy integrations for self-service requirements. If a client needs to do something, they can jump online and get us that information real quick and easy. Instant decisions. I know that there are a couple carriers out there right now that will give you an instant decision on smaller face amounts, but we're in the process of being able to provide you instant decisions on face amounts up to $2 million. We're going to reduce the need for labs and APSs. Yes, you heard it right. Banner is going to reduce the need for APSs. We're looking for real-time approvals. You will get some declines in there too, though, but it's going to be a real-time decision. So your client's going to know when they're done with the application which direction they're going. Eventually, we're going to have the policy available right there as soon as they get that instant decision. And then we're going to be increasing our decisions with the artificial intelligence. This whole engine that we've built is built on reflexive questioning and smart questions. So it's learning as it goes. The more clients we run through the system, the more it'll learn, the more it'll be able to adjust the questions and the outcomes on the other side. Automated application management, real-time digital ordering and underwriting gathering. So we're going to be pulling, as the client's going through the application, we're going to be pulling the records we need to maximize the efficiency and get those things out quickly. We're going to improve the customer expectation by not having them do as many jump through as many hoops. And then we're going to focus the underwriting because we know that not everybody will be able to qualify for the lab-free, APS-free experience. Some clients are going to have those. Some clients are actually going to have their application reviewed by an underwriter. This is not about putting underwriters out of work. This is about putting underwriters on cases that really need their expertise and getting clients to underwriters to look at clients that need those requirements. Eventually, we'll have the automated policy issue and delivery. Right now, we have our e-delivery system. It's still, I think, one of the best in the industry. It's going to get enhanced and make it easier and smoother for the client as we go through this. A real quick overview. We're going to have you give an easy to complete application. We're going to collect the relevant information for your clients. And that means that these questions will be reflexive, meaning we're not going to ask you if you're a male client, if you're pregnant. If you're a female client, we're not going to ask you about prostate issues. We're going to ask you questions that are relevant to your situation. We're going to get the documents quickly. We're going to keep everybody informed along the way. And then, of course, all of this means that we're reducing the cycle time to issue cases in a much quicker fashion. So we're offering you a new journey. It's going to be different than anything you've seen prior. All right, so Bill's mentioned, Emmanuel mentioned $2 million. Currently, our automated underwriting process is stair-stepped, meaning you have to, currently meaning prior to last Monday, we only went up to age 50, and the max you could get was a mill at age 40. You can see we've done away with that. We're now going up to 65 and $2 million. The old process that we used, I don't know if you can see my pointer here. The old process is you went through the dashboard or iPipeline. And I know the majority of you use iPipeline. That technology will be available on Thursday morning, and it will be rolled out on Pipeline. So everything you're seeing today is focused on our dashboard. It's all going to be on the Pipeline on Thursday. You'll have the same functionality and the same results. But you dropped the ticket. We went in, we did the interview, and then we did traditional, what we call traditional app assist. We did the interview, sent the case over to underwriting under the new guidelines. And it'll go, if it meets the 65 and 2 million, it'll go to the applicant. The link will go to the applicant to complete the application. And I know you're probably thinking, I don't want my client completing that application. It's 42 pages. Under the new scenario, it's not 42 pages. It's designed to be used on an iPhone. So it's going to be short and sweet. Okay. Now, there are a few exclusions I want to point out. Currently, Florida and New York have not approved our application, this new application. And I should back up. Florida has approved it. It hasn't been put into the system yet. I'm being told 2 weeks. So sometime in the next 2 weeks, the Florida app will be out there. We are not able to run other than insured through the system. So no business cases, no grandma's buying policy on little Johnny right now. It's a straight policy, no riders, and no temporary insurance currently. Those are all things that are going to be coming as we get the program out and as we get more mature and we get more information. All right, so our new dashboard process. What I'm going to focus on quickly is just kind of what the current dashboard looks like. If you're not using it, I'll show you where it's going to pick up in Pipeline. You would go into the dashboard, log in, get in here, go to drop a ticket and drop a ticket. Now, this is where you would come in on iPipeline. This is something you're going to see very similar. If you're using the dashboard or you're using a URL link, this is where you'll come in. Put in the client's information, date of birth, age, last four of social. That's important because last four of social will help them get into their application at a later time. Their address, email address, which is vital. You can see anything with a blue highlight there on the side is something that's important and required. And then we'll click next and we'll go over, we'll enter the product information, the rate class, and the link to term and the face amount. All important stuff, of course. All right. And you click next, and that's going to take you to this screen or get you to this screen. When you see this little box pop up, whether you're on my dashboard or you're on the iPipeline dashboard, you know that your client is qualified for the new digital journey. Okay. So we're going to get them their SMS or text number so that we can communicate with them via text and email. Studies show that 97% of all text messages get read and only 60% of all email get read. So we want to be able to provide them one resource where they're going to get their information. And think about it. You're sitting there and you're getting a text message. You know, previously I would tell you you've been able to get this text message while you're at little Johnny's soccer game and you can complete your app. Now you're going to be doing it on your couch watching Outlander, okay? So it's going to be that simple. You're going to get that text message. You know it's been done. You'll complete your information for your agent code, review what you sent out for the client, and then you're done, okay? The link has gone to your client. So we've got a couple tips that we want to make sure that you talk to your clients about. You can do this while you're on the phone with them. They should be able to get the link while you're on the phone with them. But they need to talk about their biological parents. We go to age 75, okay? We're looking at parents that have lived to 75. We're looking for your parents. Have you ever had any of the Huntington's, kidney disease, sickle cell anemia, or FAP? And don't ask me to pronounce anything other than familial. Has the biological parent been diagnosed or treated by a licensed healthcare physician? Simple questions, but stuff that you might want to provide them help with, okay? Do they have existing life insurance? They're going to need that. Who do you want to be your primary beneficiary? And the number one question that we get on the phone is who would you like to assign as a contingent beneficiary? Believe it or not, more clients call in on contingent beneficiary questions than anything else. All right, so here's the journey. Client gets the email. Remember I said they were going to get an email, they're going to get a text message. This is what it's going to bring up. I'm going to give them a nice little letter there and tell them, hi, Tess, here's your email. You have some stuff available. Click this link and you're going to launch the application by clicking right here in the blue circle. Sorry, I don't have a highlighter available. You're going to click in here and and my app's not there. Hold on a second here real quick. I've lost my app. It's not a good thing.
It's okay. Jim, real quick, as you're looking for that, I think it's important that everyone understands you have to be pre-appointed to get access to the platform. And then let's say if you have you got it, Jim?
I do.
Okay. I'll finish when he's done.
Well, and so I'm going to add to that.
Okay.
There we go. I'm going to add to that. You do need to be pre-appointed. If you know you're going to write a case tomorrow, send us an email to the Levinson team, and they can kind of work with us to get that done. We'd prefer to get it pre-appointed currently. As of the email I just got said May 21st is when we won't have to worry about the pre-appointment piece of it, just like today. It's some IT coding on the back end to get things done. So jumping into the app. So here we are. You're currently interested in $250,000 worth of coverage, 25 years. The quote you were given is $71.56 a month. You got your information there. You click on the Start Application button, and you jump right in it. Now, how do we know it's you? Because we're going to ask for your birth date. We're going to ask for your address. We're going to ask for the last four of your social security number. Those are the three triggers that we will know it's you when you get into the application. You will then go into the terms and conditions and you'll check that off. This is probably the largest part of the current interview process is we have to read all the way through the T's and C's, the terms and conditions. Client can read through it. They can check the box. They can do their HIPAA check. And all of a sudden they're into the honesty statement that they're going to give us their best information. And now we're going to start finding out about them. It's real simple. We want to talk about what you do and who you are. And I'm going to run through this fairly quickly because of our time. But you can see this is the style of the question. It's one question, yes, no. Yes, you have a license. Are you a citizen? Where were you born? Okay, so that's two questions. Pulls the state up. What's your current job status? Click a button, hit next. Do you do the following applications? Click a button, hit next. What is your occupation? Click a button, go next. So you kind of get the feel for what we're doing here is that we're getting simple, easy to use questions. And this whole process was designed to be used on a mobile device. So you can sit, like I said, on your couch and complete the application. It'll take you about 12 minutes, I think. You have a valid pilot's license. Why do we ask that? Well, if you don't have one, we're not going to ask you about the flying aviation. If you have one, then we have to get you the aviation question, which would be generated next. Are you planning on traveling outside the U.S. or Canada? No. You plan to change your country? No. Keep moving. What's your annual income? You type the number in. Household income. Pretty quick and easy, okay? And all of these questions right now are yes, no, or check a box, all right? So we haven't gotten into anything. This is one question I always like to stop at. In the state of Florida, we don't have to worry about this because it's not legal. But if you're out west in California or Nevada or Oregon, marijuana is legal. It's still, for us, considered a tobacco rating. Okay, now this is one of the big changes that you'll notice on our current application. We don't specifically ask about cannabis. We ask about smoking and illegal drugs. Here we ask about marijuana. So that will make it a smoker rating. So if you didn't ask that question of your client up front, they're going to notice a difference when it comes out the other side. Keep that in mind. You drink, how much? Have you been advised to stop? Again, yes, no questions. Pretty quick and easy. Doesn't take a lot of time. In the last years, how many times you had DUI? Hopefully 0. Have your license suspended? Yes or no? Again, yes or no. If you answer no, it's going to keep moving you through. If you answer yes, it'll bring up another set of questions. Now we get into the health history. You can see across the top in the green bar, we're a third of the way done already. And all we got to do is ask the health question. How much do you weigh? How tall are you? Any weight change? This one, primary physician. How many times do you sit with a client and you say, well, I know my doctor's Dr. Feelgood, but I don't remember his address. When you type in Dr. Feelgood here, it's going to do a Google search and it's going to pull up the address. You're going to put the town in and it's going to say it right away. So it's one less thing as a client I have to remember. But I can't tell you the address of my doctor, and I sure as heck can't tell you the phone number. Last full physical. When did you have your last blood test? Or don't remember. Then it'll bring up who's the last physician you consulted. So if it was Dr. Feelgood, it'll pop up there and you can check it and go on. Maybe it was a different doctor. Maybe you had to go to a specialist and it pulled that out of your records. So it's kind of verifying that you're who you are as well, okay, or who you say you are. Your health insurance, again, yes, no questions. Biological parents. And most of us are gonna know this. If we don't know it, then it's probably a no, right? Okay. Coronary artery disease, siblings, checkbox. Checkboxes here. Now, here we've actually put the little I for information. So if your client isn't sure, what do you mean by neurological? I can click on that and it will give me all of the conditions. Okay. And then they will know. And they click next. Have you been into a hospital for suicidal thoughts? Have you been diagnosed for any of these? Again, check the box, click next. More conditions, more conditions with I. So trying to eliminate, okay, how many numbers of questions that we have to ask. Again, they're asking the suicide question. Have you been evaluated or tested at facility? Again, all yes, no. Nope, more questions. Check box. Check the box. Move on. Now we're at your policy part. We're going to wrap up. Final stages of the policy. Do you have existing life insurance? Yes or no? Including this application, how much will you have? Will you be making the premium payments? And in this case, it has to be yes, or it's not going to allow you to go through. Will you be designating a secondary addressee? This is something that you may get questions on here. And this is one of those where, a lot of clients don't understand, why would I need to have that? I'm doing this EFT. Well, just in case you feel like you might forget where your premium payments are due, we want to put somebody else out there. Primary beneficiary, who's it going to be? Are you going to sign a contingent? This is the number one question we get when people call in. What's this contingent beneficiary? We want them to call you, but they call the 800 number. Specific need for the insurance. Why are we buying the life insurance today? Then it gives you a review section. Make sure that the client can do this. Now, if they want to revisit the application, they can go back and revisit a section of it if they want to. Otherwise, they click review and sign, and it takes them into a DocuSign portal where they will sign the application with, they'll choose their signature and hit sign the application. And go back to the other presentation real quick. And then they will get to this one. Oh, sorry guys. And they will get to the page that says you've been approved. This is what you've been approved at. Betty was approved. Obviously, it's a little different than the app we just showed. Approved for $100,000 for 10 years, $7.68 a month. Contact your agent if you have any questions. You can accept or decline the offer. If she accepts the offer, all the paperwork goes in and we'll be generating a policy. If she declines it, it puts it in a hold status and you get notice that you probably need to reach out to her. Okay? Oops. Oh, I see what happened. I apologize. Screen's got messed up. All right, so if the client then says, well, I didn't get issued what I wanted, you got 100,000 for 10 years, Betty, you were quoted 703 a month, but it came back at 768 and tells them why. Cholesterol was high and information provided by third-party sources, and again, they can accept this offer or decline it if they need to have an exam done. So thank you for your information, Betty. The next step is we need to schedule an exam. So it doesn't show them the offer. It just says we're going to go right into, we need to schedule the exam. What happens? They get the underwriting. It tells them exactly what the next steps are. They schedule the exam. They can do it at their home or at an exam location. Obviously, right now, a lot of clients and a lot of examiners are not wanting to go to people's homes. They can go to an exam station and they can get that done. So if they check that, it'll look in the Google Archives, it'll find the closest exam to them location and schedule a meeting. If they choose their home, they put their address in, or it'll pull their address in from the application. It'll say, here's where we want to go. It'll then allow you to schedule on a date and a time that you find convenient, and it will schedule your exam appointment. One of the questions that I'm sure that will come up is, do I need to have an exam? If you are in a position right now where you don't want an examiner to come to you, or there's not an exam facility located next to you, we are using some alternative methods currently in this temporary situation with human API and electronic health records to try to get the information that we're looking for, especially if you've been to the doctor in the last 12 months, 18 months on some younger folks. So we're looking at alternative methods, but the system, the way it's designed, will schedule the exam, and then on the back end, we'll say, wait a second, we can pull these records and not need that. Okay, so this is what your client will see currently, even though we may not necessarily move in that direction. Okay, we're running up on 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock your time. So the status section, if you're checking statuses, it's going to show an application link was sent. It's going to give you a policy number. Currently, our policy numbers are 17 or 18, I believe. The new policy numbers, and this is how you'll know that the link was sent. It was done under the new digital journey. Starts with 50000, and then you can see it says it was an online application. And I'm going to skip through this because I don't believe most of you are doing a lot of this. I believe the Levinson office is doing a lot of your case management for you, but you can see where the application was, the link was sent, you got the ticket, it gives you the time. It does the same as we currently do. It has the requirements out there, tells you where we are in the status, gives you the notes. They'll be looking for APSs, and it gives you the exam status, when it was scheduled, and what happened. So we expect to stay in front of your customer, and we will, once the link is gone out, we will text them and email them on days 2, 4, and 7. Okay, so they're going to get, in that first week, they're going to get 3 other communications saying, hey, you need to complete your application. Hey, we've got this. Or you started the application and you left and you came back, you need some assistance, you can reach out and we'll help you walk through the rest of the application. On day 15, email goes to you and to the client and says, hey, look, it's been 15 days. The link is about to expire if you don't do something now. That is the point where we really want you as an agent to get back involved and say, hey, Bill, why didn't you complete your application? What do we need to do? Can I help walk you through it? And then you can kind of get on the phone and walk them through it if they need it. We did a pilot last fall, and this is the stuff that's really exciting. It kind of gives you an idea of where we're going in the future. We had over 1,500 customers. 60% of them got streamlined through the link. We averaged 2.81 days, so under 3 days in completing the application. No more waiting for an interview time, no more scheduling an interview. They did it on their own. We found that people would rather do it on their own time. I had a case last year with a gentleman, stay-at-home father of 5, under the age of 8. It was July, so they were all home, and we could never get the interview scheduled because he didn't have time. And we had this process. He could have gone in after he put the children to bed, and he could have completed the application and never had to have an interview time. So this is a process that will make life easier for you and your client. 91% of the customers complete the app after starting it. We found that of that 91%, some of them may call in and ask for help. Again, contingent beneficiary, what is this? They get the answer to their question, and instead of having us complete the app for them, they said, no, I'll do it. And they went back and finished the app and submitted it on their own. So people like the idea. You saw how simple the application was. It's not a bunch of legal jargon and not a bunch of health jargon. It's really simple. 34% of the customers did it on their mobile phone. 32% of the people in our test pilot, so roughly a third, about 500 of them went through with lab 3 underwriting, and we took our cycle time down under 20 days. So on those cases where we didn't get the immediate answer, the cases took less than 20 days. Right now, I can tell you we're probably pushing 30 days on the old system. So we're knocking off 10 days. Why is that important to you? Your client's getting covered. You're getting revenue. Everybody's happy. All right. So that's the big benefit here is speed, quickness, instant decision, working the process without labs. So starting on the 23rd, you'll be able to get this on iPipeline, which is this coming Thursday. We do have a recording that will get to you. It won't be of today's show since I botched up the application process. It'll be of last week's rollout that you can listen to on your own time. And then we have marketing materials that are going to be on their way in the next couple of days. With that, you don't need that because you got me. Bill, Andrew.
All right, good stuff. Yep, no, that was perfect. Thank you for that. And make sure your contracting is in unless you're already set up. And again, in your thank you email today. Okay, we have about 3-4 minutes left. Andrew's going to take it and just dive into some important things in technology that you need to utilize, okay, with Levinson, with all of our carriers. So, Andrew, you want to take it from here, and then we'll do our question of the day and wrap up.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Bill. I'll be quick here. I know we're on a time constraint, but I want to quickly show you guys our digital sales and marketing training center. Okay, so we built this specifically for you so that you could take the advice of Emmanuel and Jim and our office here and go and apply that information. And we have telesales training, how to close over the phone, how to build that emotional connection to life insurance, especially right now with the virus. So take advantage of this. Go to our Agent Tools tab and click on the iGenius Training Center and just dive into these training modules that we specifically built for you and spent a lot of time putting that together. So just check that out as soon as you have a moment. Also here, I want to show you that we have other digital sales tools to keep you in the know as far as doing your business online and remote. We have our famous mobile application that's 100% free for you, so make sure you download that on your appropriate app store. We also have our on-demand case status. So if you submit that banner instant decision app through our portal, you'll see our real-time case status right from our Levinson Associates website. And of course, download Zoom and GoToMeeting and these other free platforms that are available to you to have these meetings with your clients directly over the phone and your computer. So now you guys can do that 100% remote, just as Emmanuel and all of our top agents are doing. So I'm going to get it back to Bill. We're going to go over the podcast and the winner of today's tablet.
Okay, good stuff, Andrew. All right, so real quick, the Bill Levinson Experience, check it out on your favorite podcast channel or on YouTube or from our website. It's 100% free. Make sure you subscribe. Leave a comment review. We'll send you the free IUL prospecting book. What's so cool is you'll see a manual on the bottom row in the center. And then, of course, Ian is another successful agent of ours that also sells 99.9% virtual, even pre-COVID. So definitely some great episodes you want to listen to, okay? You have nothing to lose here, but everything to gain. And if you can walk away with nuggets, it's a win-win. Okay, agency automator training. That's what some of the stuff Emmanuel mentioned earlier with, his website and CRM tools and keeping your name out there. This is all of our technology. Most of this is free if you're an active agent, and we do these trainings every day live at 2 p.m. Eastern with Kevin, our main programmer. So make sure you check them out. Get your assistant on or your son or daughter or spouse with you. You can all listen, and it's an open forum so you can ask questions. They're built to help you utilize the technology and make sure that it's very easy to understand. That was the goal when we put this together. Okay, second to last slide here is the Triple Play webinar series, which is what you're on right now. Obviously, you're on number 1 right now. The second is on the 24th. That's where we're diving into Insure Me Now Direct and our newest products that we just added, which is guaranteed issue, disability, and critical illness from SureBridge. We have guaranteed issue whole life and the Grow Up plan from Gerber. We have ReliaShield, which is identity theft protection. We have Legacy Armor now. We have a bunch of new changes, and the most important is Haven, up to $500,000 instant decision, and then electronic policy delivery. That means your client can literally run a quote, sign up online, print their policy or save it, whatever they would like, and you are paid. And it all happens in less than 5 minutes, and the pay cycles are every 4 weeks for you, the agent. So there's nothing that works like that. It's Amazon for insurance, okay? That's simple. That's on the 24th. On the 30th, we are diving into the new voice signature products, okay? One of them with Columbian Financial Group on the final expense side was just approved, and it's only available from 3 different select IMOs. We're one of them. We're going to dive into all of that on the 30th. Make sure you're on these, especially now, okay? I'm sure you have some downtime, so this is a great way to get out there and learn. So when this is all behind us, hopefully it's sooner than later, you will be off to the races. And the whole time, you are staying top of mind with your prospects and clients, like Emmanuel and me said earlier, okay? It's the same concept. Okay, our last slide here, and we're going to do our question of the day. So we have, real quick, before you know what, let me do the Positive Tuesday quote first, since today is Tuesday. So I'm going to mention this. I think it's all relative, and I personally love Tuesdays. I came up with this just to keep our name top of mind with agents. But I wanted to really set an example because you all should be doing the same thing on social media, okay? Just think like this and come up with your own, call it, whatever, Life Insurance Thursday, Long-Term Care Wednesday, and come up with different quotes. So just like we shared on our Facebook page today, let me just say this one real quick. Now is the perfect time to 1, reflect, 2, restart, 3, regroup, 4, rethink with a hashtag reset button, okay? Now, obviously, we're all going through this together, but we have to make the best of it and try to, see the positive light and listen to these webinars and write down some new thoughts, ideas to help change and restart your business post COVID-19. That's how you should be thinking. Okay, I'm going to end with our webinar question of the day. So real quick, I mentioned on the Insure Me Now Direct platform, which is Amazon for insurance, we have 2 brand new, straight up, guaranteed issue, critical illness and disability products that are on the platform now. What is the carrier? Okay, what is the carrier offering that has guaranteed issue disability and guaranteed issue critical illness on the direct-to-consumer? It's our platform, InsureMeNowDirect.com. What's the name of the carrier? Whoever answers first incorrectly wins the new Fire tablet. Andrew, do we have a winner?
Yes, sir, Bill. We do have a winner. We have Gary G. from Florida is the first answer.
Gary G. The answer was SureBridge. Okay, straight up guaranteed issue, CI, NDI, all on the direct-to-consumer platform, Insure Me Now Direct. Congratulations, Gary G. Once again, thank you, everyone. I apologize. We ran 7 minutes over, but I hope it was time well spent on your behalf. Thank you so much. Good selling. Thanks again.